All right, and we are back from that impromptu song break, hopefully for a better connection with Paul from Wales. Are you able to hear us, man?
Yeah, good evening, guys. How are you?
We're on.
Awesome, good success. Yeah, how you doing over there?
Yeah, really good, thanks. Did you have a good Christmas?
Yeah, it was pretty good, yeah.
Wonderful little celebration. What about yourself?
Yeah, a nice quiet one for the change, to be fair.
That's fantastic.
That's good.
And you were halfway through telling us about the guy that you started working with, Mark, in relation to Premier?
Yeah, Mark Jones. Yeah, Mark Jones started the community radio station off. He started an internet radio station first, and basically I was on. I'm basically a wedding DJ. I've done radio in the past, commercial broadcasting, and I started putting videos up on YouTube, people coming on for live request show. And he got in touch and said, "Hey, come and join me on this radio station." I said, "Where is it?" He said, "I'm literally a mile away from you." So we got talking and we started it up, and it's gone absolutely massive. It's incredible in what is like the 2.5 years now since the very beginning of COVID. It's just grown and grown. We've got 40 members. We've got our own radio complex now. It's really gone massive.
Oh, very exciting.
Yeah, that sounds wonderful. And, like obviously here we had a very similar start, in the beginning of COVID, using this place to connect people that were stuck at home,
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I just lost that question.
Oh, it was just more of a statement than a question. We were just reflecting on the similarities between our two starting points.
I think what it was the community of Wrexham wasn't getting the information from the authorities and channels that they should be getting clearly enough. So with mental health and issues like that were rising and rising, we thought we can help people here. And like our logo says, help to put the unity back into our community. And hopefully that's what we've done for the last 2.5 years.
Right, yeah. So a real news and information focus.
Absolutely. When we get further down the line, we're looking at 75% of our shows being outside the studio live in the local community as well.
Wow, that sounds like a lot of fun, yeah.
Cool. Is there anything kicking off in the local community that you're excited about coming up?
There's lots going on in Wrexham, obviously. I don't know if you guys have heard of Wrexham Football Club.
Yes, the Ryan Reynolds owned Wrexham Football
Club.
That's yes.
It's massive over here. They brought such a media focus on the town, city now, because we also gained city status as well last year. So
wow,
it's gone really crazy. It's like the centre of the universe at the moment in Wrexham. It really is.
Yeah. So speaking about that, like just in general, so what's changed since everything came? Obviously, a city, but like all this attention is on you guys as a city. What's improved? What's changed?
Well, basically, there used to be a station that me and Mark worked on in Wrexham years ago, Marcher Sound, which changed to MFM, which was bought out by Global Media. Well, basically, they've gone over to another commercial network, and it's basically there's one, maybe 2 shows a week from that studio live, and it wasn't what the studios were built for originally when me and Mark were there. Basically, there used to be a steelworks in the town, and that shut down, and I think 4 or 5 guys from the from the steelworks put their redundancy money in to build in a station for Wrexham, and it was also community based. Everyone knew it. There was lots going on around the town with the station, and progressively they sold that on, and then it just went out to town. And me and Mark thought, well, you know what? Let's get back to basics. Let's get back to what Wrexham had as a radio station at the very beginning, and that's our focus and drive.
Wonderful.
Cool.
So here at IPL, we have lots of different types of shows. Do you have any shows that are very unique that you want to discuss? Anything out there that you're really proud of that's within your station?
Yeah, we've got we've got 2 young mums who've had babies in the last 18 months, and they came to us asking if one of the young ladies has done radio before in a native country. Forgive me for forgetting where that is, but she basically they came into the studios, had a look around, they loved it, and they said we'd like to get back into radio. and we said, well, why not come along and do a mum's show with the babies in the studio about babies live on the radio, and it's quite unique because you hear the babies screaming in the background. It's proper live radio, and that's taken off massively. We've got another 4 or 5 DJs who've never done radio before, and they've progressed so quickly. A couple of them sitting courses in university as well who need the experience for their courses, so we've helped them as well. Local communities, local community groups in the area have come to us. There's a big community hub in Wrexham called Yellow and Blue, and Pete Humphreys, who started that, we did an outside broadcast when that opened from Yellow and Blue outside, and it was such a massive hit. People loved it, and that's just getting bigger and bigger all the time. It's what we call a warm place. You can go there for a warm drink and be safe, and it's a safe place because you've got people who can give you advice there as well, and that's all free.
Wow, that sounds
it's really
fantastic.
wonderful. Yeah, it's fantastic.
And you sound like, obviously you must be very proud of what you've managed to create here as well, right?
Yeah, and I think there's a lot more in the scope for us as well. I think we're going to get bigger and better as we go along.
And do you get to have many local musicians come in?
Yeah, we've got there's a band that's actually related to the Wrexham Racecourse. They're called the Declan Swans, and we promoted their song on the radio. They've gone up. I think they went into the iTunes chart. It was massive, and obviously with Ryan Reynolds and his colleagues, they've been in touch with them, and they love everything that they're doing. Another band is Johnny Ash. They've released a song as well. That's going up the charts rather rapidly about Wrexham. Carl Joseph, who's a local musician. Now Carl's he's a policeman, believe it or not, and he used to do a band years ago. I don't know if you guys are probably too young to remember Big Country.
Not doesn't
not
ring
for
a bell.
me, sorry. I don't.
You need to Google them. Well, Carl actually supported them in that band's early years, and they were big. They were, they had a couple of number ones over here in the UK, and he's out with his band Before the Storm now. He's got a solo artist as well, and he's got a voice like John Bon Jovi. It's incredible. You close your eyes and you think John Bon Jovi singing in front of you. It's unbelievable.
Is that Carl with a K or a C?
Talent. There's lots and lots of talent around Wrexham, and it's starting to come out of the woodwork now, which it needs to, because the city's growing so quickly.
Yeah.
And I think people within the city are growing with it quickly as well.
We've got your website opened up, and the image of Wrexham looks very much more urban and populous than even where we live here. Where we're the capital of WA.
Yeah, it's a big vast area, and of course we cover South Denbighshire as well. We're looking to bring studios into South Denbighshire this year. Obviously they run from Wrexham at the moment, and they sort of piggyback Wrexham, and certain shows go across to both networks. So that's our next project once we get Wrexham up and fully running. Right.
Wonderful.
And are there plans to start opening like even more beyond South Devonshire?
Never say never.
Cool. Love the optimism.
Yeah, because obviously you started with one station, now you got two. So so obviously you wanna get this thing as big as possible, right? Where you want to do live shows. What do you think would be the peak of Premier Radio? If you've got everything you want.
The peak of Premier Radio would be full-time broadcasting by local people for the local people. We've had a lot of support from certain people in the media, especially Mark Lewis-Jones. I don't know if you know of him. He's an actor. He was in Star Wars, and he's got so much. If you Wikipedia him, it's incredible what he's been in. Well, Mark, he's from literally my village where I live. He's from there. I got in touch with his agent, and he quite gladly came along to our open day and cut the ribbon.
Oh wow!
And he stayed friends. He stayed friends with the station now, and hopefully we can take that a little bit further in the new year, because he's going to come back and visit us, and we're in discussions for further things to do.
Yeah, and I didn't know the name, but I knew him from a Bill comedy bit. He's the body actor for Darth Vader.
That's right, yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
He's done so much over the years. I think he's in Game of Thrones. He's been in so much. You have to Wikipedia him to see what he's actually. It's such a long list.
Yeah.
It really, really is.
Wonderful.
And such a nice, genuine guy. He came to open the studios, and he brought his son with him, Caleb. And Caleb's like he's 17, 18, just in uni, and he's really interested in DJing. So it was really cool. But what a nice, genuine, down-to-earth guy. Didn't want anything from the day himself. And I think he was the next day he was in Comic Con, the big thing that happens over here a couple of times a year. He's well involved in that as well.
So he just came back to his home, had supported the local place, and then went off to do one of the biggest conventions in the world. How that's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Yeah, come back to his roots, and he does travel up. He travelled up early December. We were due to meet, but circumstances. We just ran out of time, but he keeps in touch. He texts me now and again on my phone, so it's quite nice to have that connection with him as well, and to the studio and to the station.
Yeah, wow.
Very, very cool.
That was wonderful. Do we have anyone like that? Or do we have any big names?
No, we don't have any big names.
Not yet. We will. We'll get people. We'll get people.
We just need Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney in the studio. We'll be happy then.
Yeah, no, that'd be fun. I'm like. Yeah, from what I've seen, hopefully they'll be into that. I mean, I'm sure they will be. They sound like lovely people.
Yeah, like I would say, I think the Netflix series We Are Wrexham, which is available on Netflix, that shows you Wrexham really. It shows you, it's like everywhere. It's got good and bad, but the goodness in Wrexham is so much bigger than any bad. It's incredible. It's such a good city. Yeah.
And to help out our listeners, that's Wrexham spelt WREXHAM.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes.
Well, the only really thing that I get an impression when I think of Wales is Welsh dragon sausages. But if you could tell us and our listeners something that is iconically Welsh to you, I'd be very interested.
Iconically Welsh to me is the language. Not everybody speaks it. It's growing. It's sort of got a comeback at the moment. They teach it in the schools, not as much as I think they should do, to be honest. I think it should be a more progressive language, because I don't know if you guys know this, in I think it's Patagonia, they actually speak Welsh.
Oh, okay.
That's fun.
Yeah, that's South America.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of Welsh guys back in the day went out there and carried the language through there, and it's massive over there. But yeah, getting back to Wales, we've got lots of traditions. Welsh cakes, Badderbrith. Welsh cake is like it's like a small biscuit, but it's very soft, fruity. And Badderbrith is like a small loaf of bread, and that's very moist, and it's got currants in it. It's really, really nice. Lots of things about Wales. I mean, I'm quite fortunate to live in a part of the area of Wales, which is we've got one of the Eisteddfod, the Welsh National Eisteddfod. It's people come from all over the world to it, and that happens every year, and that's literally about 3 miles from my home, which is really cool in the summer.
Yeah, nice.
That sounds good. Yeah, no, I love this current resurgence of bringing the culture back. I guess a lot of it gets lost through modernization, but bring the language back. That sounds like a really great thing.
Yeah, it is. And like I say, it was quite nice because when you watch the documentary on Netflix, Rob McElhenney is actually speaking Welsh. He actually is learning Welsh, which I think is
that's good.
Really good of him, because he didn't have to, but he's made the effort. And he comes from a very similar town to Wrexham. Apparently, his history goes back to the same sort of foundations.
Yeah. Also, for our Australian audience, this is available on Disney Plus. I just realised that. Yeah. So if you want to check it out, or if you're living in Australia, go to Disney Plus, and you can find that documentary there. Yeah. Or
I think if it's on Netflix in Wales, you probably be able to use your VPN to pretend you're in Wales for an afternoon.
That's true. Get as authentic as possible.
Yeah, I think it is on Disney as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool,
Wonderful.
Cool.
All right. Well, look. Because obviously, like you've talked a bit about some of the shows that are there. What other things in your station specifically do you want to, I guess, plug? Give us a plug,
Yeah.
Well, basically, we're looking for volunteers all the time, and it's if little Billy down the road always fancy being a DJ on the radio and wants to come and have a go, the door is always open. That's our policy. We don't turn anybody away. It's big open doors. Share the information, and I think we've got a few broadcasters who've got quite a few years under their belts, and are quite happy to sit and train and show people how to broadcast, which is really cool.
That sounds that sounds great. I really love the energy that you've portrayed for us, because obviously I can see a lot of ourselves there as well. But it sounds like Wrexham itself has a really lovely culture and community that you're trying to show everyone and amplify with your radio station. It sounds great.
Yeah, like I say, where the studios were very fortunate, because we were just looking for literally a room for a studio, and we looked around Wrexham for a while. We didn't get very far with the local council. There was lots of empty properties, but they weren't forthcoming. But there's a shopping precinct which is in Wrexham, Eagles Meadow, and very kindly they offered us one of their shop areas, which was a little bit off the beaten track. I wouldn't say it had a shop front.
Yeah.
As you can see with the pictures on the website. But when we went in there, it was such a vast space. So my wife, Gail, and myself, we basically started putting up walls and making studios. So Studio 1 is the live studio at the moment. Studio 2 is nearly complete now, which will be an old school vinyl, CD and MP3 studio. So these kids that are coming in now, they can learn how to play vinyl and CDs, which I think a lot of that will go eventually, but they got that opportunity. And then on the opposite side of that wall, we got a glass window, like a conventional recording studio. The other side is for interviewing and live duos and bands and stuff like that to come in.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it sounds like you've really created something very special over there. And I've written down those bands: the Beckham Swans, Johnny Ash, Carl Joseph. Was that with a K or a C?
It's with a K, Carl. Carl Joseph.
Cool.
Declan Swans is DECLAN.
Right, Declan Swans.
But you can get them all on YouTube, I'm sure.
Wonderful.
Cool, yeah. Because on my show, I like playing world music, so I'll do a bit of a Welsh tribute and get those guys.
Yeah, that'd be
That
cool.
sounds
If you want to send me a link, I can always email you over some of the audio from others that we've got as well. MW, Miles, and his daughter, Ruby Roo. They did a bit of a collaboration in COVID, because Miles himself suffers with mental health issues, and he's got over that, and he's such a creative performer as well.